Okay, good afternoon. We'll start the session. So last class, we discussed with functions, built-in functions in Excel, where we discussed logical functions, text, date and time function, mathematical function. So almost the basic functions we covered. Once we come to advanced Excel, we can still discuss some more formulas. So any doubts regarding the last session, you can ask, or I straight away continue with any doubts, Pa? Aisha, Fatima, Sahana, Nitish, Yukta. Okay. Okay. So today's topic, we continue with charts or graph. So in Excel, in insert, we have the group tab called chart. In insert tab, you have chart. So here, chart is graphical representation of data. So the pictorial representation of data is called as graph or the chart. So you can visualize the data using diagrams, and you can view the performance easily, and which is used for comparison, mainly data comparison, growth of your business, analysis, when you are discussing about the problem, what's happening, so that you can represent through chart. When it is through chart, you will, instead of go through the data, a lot of data, you can just represent through a picture how it's growing, how its problem is solved, how it's the performance of any activity. So particularly for the business field, in the marketing or sales analysis, financial marketing, in all, for analyzing, for data comparison, when they are discussing with higher officials, rather than the data in terms of quantity, if they represent through diagrams, they can communicate very well. So if you join for a company under any category, maybe as a salesperson or as a area sales manager, regional, or any higher category, like from executive, then the next level, team leader, and other any category, if you go, you need to sending the report along with chart. So we call MIS reports. And so as I said, if you be a team leader, if you be in a place where you have to handle all activities of a company, then you can discuss with your officials or your colleague only through chart. So it is important option in Excel, and it is useful for all person who's doing who's handling all activities in a organization. So here, first we will discuss types of chart. So any doubts, you can message me. I'm ready to clear. So here, types of chart. Under that, we have numerous range of chart. So the first category is pie chart, then bar chart. Under that, again the subcategory stacked bar chart. Then you have column chart. Then you have line chart, XY chart. Then you have scatter chart. It's more or less XY or scatter is same. So you can say XY or scatter chart. Then you have area chart, combo chart. So these are all the types of chart we are going to discuss for the today's session. Okay. So there is different types of chart based on your what kind of comparison, what kind of analysis. Based on that, we can choose. Let's say example, if I want to analyze the student performance, then I can use column chart or bar chart. If I am comparing with the sales and marketing area, then I have to show how it's grown, how it's coming down, so that I can represent through line chart. And pie chart, where you wanted to show the you wanted to compare only single set of data, let's say like sales in the particular area. If I take Jainagar or some region, I select in that for various products, what are the sales, how it is contributing in the sales. So that that pie will represent each pie based on the size, whether it is you are having more sales, less sales, that you can represent through pie chart. And the combo chart is the combination of column and line chart. So where how much expenses, for that how much revenue you are getting, how much sales on that, how much profit you are getting, how much sales, what is your revenue percent, so that you can compare using column or the combo chart. And apart from that, there is advanced chart like waterfall chart. So particularly for MIS reports, they use more waterfall chart. So it's a performance analysis where you are getting profit or loss. So that flow you can understand using waterfall chart. Okay. So that later with the advanced Excel topic, you will be learning people chart. Okay. So there are different types of charts are available. Stock market analysis, you have stock chart. Then you have based on statistical evaluation, that you wanted to represent statistical values, frequency. So for that separate chart is there. So now the basic, if you know these chart, then the rest of the thing you can easily follow. Okay. So now these are all basic chart type that you will learn for today's session. Okay. Then next is, what are chart properties? Students, if you have doubts, if you have any questions, you can ask me, you can message me, and try to do practical. As I'm telling from first class, whenever you get time, try to practice. And you can send me to my mail ID so that I can understand how much you can follow. Okay. As you people are final year students, so you will get easily if you are trying for job, and this will really helpful. Okay. Now I can see what are the chart properties. Properties, or other way I can say chart elements. So what are the things I should work on my chart? So here, first I should have my data. So for which data I wanted to create, or the table. So what is your data range? For that you want to do create a chart. Second thing, chart type. So based on the analysis and comparison, what type of chart I should select. Then Excel itself will give you the recommendation. Plus, you can also have a choice to select. Then, what should be in x-axis of your chart? So, x-axis representation and y-axis. So, what data? Suppose, for example, I'm comparing sales for different months. So, sales value should be in y-axis. Month should be all the month representation should be in x-axis. So what on for which basis you are doing comparison? So that should be in x-axis, and the values should present in y-axis. And you can work with third series also. Okay, so third series you will be checking with the waterfall chart. Then you will be working with the data insta sorry you will be working with what you say combo chart. You wanted to add a trend line. So for all you need to use third series. Even in economics we'll do no break even analysis. All the things you can do it in chart. So now, so how to represent what data I'm comparing? I have to put it in x or y axis. Then other properties are like chart title, then axis title. In every axis you can give the titles. Then legend of the chart, then chart area. So your chart area can be formatted. Formatting the chart area, then formatting the plot area. Then what are the data series you want to display, and data labels you want to display. So all we are going to work today. Okay. So now remember, pictorial representation or visualizing your data in form of picture, that is called graph. So here rather than like that 1,000 words if I speak, instead of that if I show one picture, it speaks automatically. You no need to explain. So for the end user customers, when you are trying to convince your customer, or when you are analyzing business analysis, through picture you can convey easily rather than reading full data. So Excel spreadsheet support different types of charts. So these are all the charts we have, and these are all chart property. Now we can look at with the example. So the first example, you can see here, I have a data in this worksheet, which is very lesser information, which is for different months. So the here I have organized 4 quarters. That means for an year, we are considering every 3 months is 1 quarter. So that sales amount we have fixed. So how I can show this, in which quarter I'm getting highest sales? So if I have less data, of course I can go through which is the least amount, which is the highest amount. But that amount, that period of time also for analyzing, you no need to spend. You just select your data. You can select the chart. So it's showing the recommended chart. Either you can see by using this immediately you can analyze quarter 2 is the highest one, quarter 1 is the least one, then average is quarter 3 and 4. So I can easily get the suggestion. Now the smaller one, like the first very basic chart is pie chart. So right now I'm getting the pie chart. So you can see that, so which I'm added in my worksheet itself. So here, as soon as I get the chart, I will get the tabs like design and format. You can look at that, design and format. So design is for all your entire chart, what and all you want to add, what you want to extend the data, you want to decrease the data, you want to change the chart type, style, moving that, everything I can do through design. So a chart can be designed using this design tab. Format is anything, any decorations for your chart, color, animation effects. So everything you can do through format. Now I select design. Here, once I take the chart in your chart area, I just double click. Immediately in the right side, I'll get the format chart area pan. Using this, I can design my chart. So the first one is chart area. If I select inside, this is called plot area. You can see two borders. The outer edge is called the entire chart area. Inside that, there is a place for representing your chart. This is called plot area. Automatically, it is a built-in design, so it will take, but you are allowed to increase or decrease the size. And in this, it's just showing my data's title is sales. So here also it's coming like sales. And below, you can see the 4 quarters with the color it is representing. This is called legend of your chart. So in this, blue color is for representing quarter 1, orange is for 2, gray is for 3, this is for fourth quarter. You can see by seeing the size of each pie, this one pie, I can see this orange color pie is quarter 2, so this is having highest sales, whereas quarter 1 is the smaller size in it, so that is the less, which is getting less sales. So I can easily showcase this without the reader or the client or the customer or your investors or to with whom you are analyzing. So you can easily convey this is what happening, highest what, where, least where you. So it's performance analysis. In simple way, you can tell chart is for analyzing the performance of any activities, which is business activity, financial activity, or any kind of progressive part you want to analyze, then you can represent easily through chart. Okay, now what is this chart area? So the entire this, it's add like a image, embedded object in your worksheet, where I can easily format. You can see I can fill with color. I could select, there is no fill, by default background is white, solid fill. So how I would like to fill, I can choose the colors here. As per your requirement, you can choose any color combo. So however you want, you represent here. Then if I can even fill in a shape or a background with gradient fill, you can see here. So gradient is various layers of color can be filled. So right now I can choose one basic layer, then I could change it. So there I want the radius should come in the way how I want. So here the color combinations also, when you can look at monitor here, I can change the color. So the shadow, how I can choose. So it's a darker shadow or lighter one, you could select. Go to the color combination here. You can pick up whichever color you would like to change. So it should not like to make more effect, or the user should understand better. So such a way we should design. We are supposed to design it. So it's not about decorating. It's about how effectively I can present for them. So that is important. So our process progress plus even the appearance also important. So that's how we are doing our basic formatting and alignment for the chart. So whatever we are doing, this is considered as formatting. Formatting in MS Office, the overall Word, Excel, PowerPoint, in everywhere. For formatting means the decoration, how you will align them, how you will decorate them. That is, in one word, I can say formatting. Okay. So it should not, my graph should be very clear than formatting. Okay. So this area I just filled with color, some gradient color. As per your requirement, you can choose this. And border also I can say. So again, the border I can select how I want. And border thickness also you can select. So I have given, but it is very thin line border. Then, so you can fill the background and border color, border of your area. If you want, I'll just change the thickness of the border. So you could see before it was, the border was not visible. Now I increased the width of the border. So when I select the border line, and what is the color I want, transparency and width of that border, and what line style I want, I can choose. And that the border should be square or rounded type. So I choose rounded type, joint type also round. So like this you can choose even rounded corners. So you can see the chart have the corners are rounded. So this is basic formatting, not only for chart, any objects, image, shape, picture, for anything this will be applicable. You can change the background color, you can change the border appearance, border color, border style. So all this you could try. So presentation is also important, that's the reason we are discussing. Then effects, if this is considered as one image object, so chart is one image object where I can give the appearance effect. So how it should come, so extra effects you can give, glowness for your chart. So the background, how you wanted to make it glow. So the background, you could see it's in light green, and the appearance is also changed. Then the text, what I have inside, the text size. So which is in center of your area. So I selected the title. So if you want, you would like to change it. So I write here 4-quarter sales analysis. So however you want, you can change your heading of the chart. And after this chart alignment is given. Okay, text direction is horizontal, custom angle. Okay, so I don't want to do any changes. Text options, if I go, so text color, what I want, so that you can decide. I just select some color, so it's changed. So the very basic formatting option, you can change the appearance of your plot area, chart area, border, glow, gradient fill. Then you can change the title. Now if I come to my plot area, that means inside what I want to do, again I can change the appearance. In plot area also I can change the color. If I say no fill, so inside also you could change as per your requirement. Even you can fill with the background picture randomly or pattern also. So you could change the background with any one of these options. So everything I'm showing, but finally, which is effective to present that user has to decide. Okay, so it's your choice. However you want, you can fill your background. So if I don't want everything, I can just go to no fill. I can bring it back to the white background. So now, and it is transparent, background is also transparent. And now in this, I can move this chart to chart sheet. You can see this is placed as an object in the current sheet, or you can move to the chart sheet. So now you can see this is called chart sheet. So when I go for printing of this, I could see in a entire paper only the chart is appearing. It's not a spreadsheet or worksheet, it is chart sheet. So this is one of the types of worksheet in your Excel. Fine. Now I'm in chart sheet. Now if I wanted to change the color pattern. So color combination, what I want, I could choose. So you decide single color or multicolor, however you want, you can select. Suppose I wanted to choose only for the, for example, where I'm getting less sales, I wanted to focus on this. So I can only fill this only for that particular pie. You can see this mark is, the dot mark is graph marks. So only that is selected. Only for that I can fill with different pattern. So I want to highlight with a different color or different radius. So some color combination I filled over here. So for which one you wanted to differentiate, that you can give with extra effects. Only for one pie also you can change. So for entire also you can use, or only for one you can use. Plus I can add the data labels. So select full, add data label. So I'll select here values. So now you can see this label, which is best fit we have selected, and font option I'll choose. For all, as usual, you can increase through your font. So you could see this. So this is text fill color. So for all, I changed the text color. So you can see this. We are added the data label in every pie. So it's showing the sales value. And bottom we have legend. So this legend I can increase or decrease. Again, for this also I can choose a, by default nine size is given. So you can choose the font size as per your requirement. So this legend, if I want to shift over within this in design, so you can see the layout where you want the legend at the top. So I selected now in the layout, it has to represent through how value, or with legend or without legend, you can decide. So these are all layouts you have. So now Control Z for undo your last action. So I would like to change up to this. Okay. even this also. So this title, you can analyze, or sorry, you can arrange it wherever you want. I can give 24 size, and you can bring it to center of your page. Okay. So these are all basic formatting, and this is chart title. This is called legend. What I'm selecting, which color is for which representation, that is called legend. Then chart title I've given. I showed you how to change the border and border shadow. Then effect of the plot area. So this is now, this border is plot area. Only this plot area I can change. You could see this. So what color, everything you can decide. So as per your requirement, you can highlight this. Okay. So you can fill with pattern, fill with picture, fill with gradient. So all the things you can try. No fill by default, no fill, or else you can select solid fill, gradient fill, picture. You can fill with picture or text. Then pattern fill, then you can take automatic. So whichever you want, you can select. Okay. So this is how I can organize it. And now I moved from worksheet to chart sheet. Again, if I want to move to worksheet, then move on the object as in the worksheet. So again, we get back to our worksheet. As I increase the font size, so it needs more space. Okay. Now I just take some other type of chart. So now this is column chart, or what we say bar chart. So now the second example is, I used here various year and the sales value. Uh, Meanwhile, any doubts with the topic, you can ask. Aisha, Sanjay, Vidya, any of you have doubts? Okay, I have a small question. This question is for Vidya. What is called legend? What is called legend? In the chart, and for Darshan, the question is, in this pie chart, what is x-axis and what is y-axis? So if you are listening, if you understand that, you can message any of you. First I asked for Vidya and Darshan. Anybody can respond. What is legend? What is called legend? Here I'm selecting no, it's showing here this color particular is quarter 1, orange base is quarter 2, then gray base is Q3, yellow base is, yeah, which represent the representation of that portion is about what. So that is called legend. So now I selected what uh, at the last I have given, this is called legend. Okay. And I asked which is for x-axis and which is for y-axis. In this, y-axis is values, the sales value. X-axis is quarters. What are the quarters? What are the period we have? That is x-axis. What values it has to plot the chart, that is called y-axis. Okay, fine. So now you can look at the second model. We have year and sales. I want to represent, I want to show quickly which year I'm getting best sale, or which year I'm getting average or moderate, or where I'm getting less sales. So it's showing through, it's giving recommended chart as line chart. I would like to select bar chart. So sorry, column chart. You could see this. This is called bar chart or column chart. So you can easily find out 2024 and 26 reached highest, and 21 and 29 is having least. So you no need to look at the data. By seeing that marked area, I could show immediately. I can tell 21 is having less sales, 29 is also having less sales, and 24, 26 highest sales, and the rest of the thing I can tell average or above average. So in this, suppose I want to look at only for 21 to 25, not for all the year. So in chart also I can do filtering. Okay, so now chart sheet you should work when you are practicing. So what is chart sheet you have to use? The next is filter data in chart area. So the chart is organized with some data. In that data you wanted to filter. I don't want to look for all the years. I want to see only for 21 to 25. How do I do this? When you are selecting your chart area, the right side you can see adding the elements. You can format it, or you can filter. There is a filter tool, chart filter. So I don't want to see for all. So select all, I remove. I select only for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or only the selected years. It is your choice. Give apply. Now you could see, even though I selected full data, the chart is on the full data, but filtering, I'm showing only for 21 to 25. So remaining 26 to 30 up to year 2030, the data is hidden. So when I'm showing the analysis part, comparison part, I can show only what are the, I can randomly pick up that. It's not only continuous. See, I selected 7, 8. So it's not continuous period, 21, 24, 25, like this I can select. So random numbers also I can select, or the first half or second half, or only the specific continuous region can also be selected. Okay. Now in this plus symbol, I wanted to add legend. So I click on legend so that it's showing the mark. I remove it. I want grid line. I don't want data table. Okay. Data table, you could see below only the table is appearing. Every year, what is the sales it's showing. So data table, data label, on that only the values are showing at the top. Axis title, so left side sales I wanted to write. So trend line, so what is the average sales, the among them, and who are all above average, who are all below average, who are all on the average line, you can mark. Okay, so these are all the chart elements. x-axis, y-axis, axis title, chart title, data label, data table, error bars, grid line. So error bars is what is the highest, from that to reach that how much we are back, so that you can analyze. Grid lines you can add, trend line you can add. Okay, so these are all. The plus symbol is for adding or removing the chart element, and this is for quick style. So you can look at predefined style, it is there in that here itself. The same thing will appear in the left side. If you would like to change with the color, what kind of shade you want, you can select quickly. So these are all predefined style. In case if you want different color, different style, that is you can also format. For example, I wanted to double click, not for one area, double click on the floor chart area. Look at here. So I select all the columns are selected. I take the preset objects. So I'll take the glow. Then I'll take the 3D format. So how I want the 3D effect, how it should appear. Then if you go in detail, how it should come material, it should come how like you can see the material like iron based or soft material or 3D material. Lightning also, which side you want the lightning. Let me remove the glow. So glow I'll take light shadow I have taken. If I want, even I can change the color of it. So there is a shadow, but very light shadow, and you could see the material, it's changed. Everything is here only. It's there. uh, Shadow, glow, 3D format, soft edges. So the corner should be, I want soft like every corner should be soft. Then each bar, what is the size and height, that you can increase the height and width. Okay, so size is here, the size of that particular series, how much point you want. And you can select in the series, plot series, series overlapping, gap. So between each bar, what is the gap, less or more. Then series overlap, how, what should be in x-axis, what should be in y-axis. It's very small, less data, so I could use what we say, I could use more series. Now I have only one series, okay, for year. So that we will decide. Okay, so I can format however we want. And the best thing is here, if you wanted to take printout, or if you wanted to add it to the presentation, or directly along with the data you are showing the comparison, so based on that you can decide formatting. Okay, what is the reason many people are joining now? Try to join on time so that you will understand better. Okay. So any doubts you can ask me. For example, I was showing this with filtering. Again, I can remove the filtering option. I can select all. Apply. You have to say every time apply, then only it will bring back. And then this format, I can change the chart type at any point of time. I don't want column chart. I will go for bar chart. So what will happen? Immediately it represents through bars. And than the previous model, the bar, if it is higher, I can see this year I'm having highest sales. So as per the data and the requirement, you have to enlarge your chart sheet. Then only it will be clearly visible, even the legend also. Okay. So now if you look at this highest sales, least sales, I can easily show. Okay. So the graphical representation of data where you can, by looking at that picture, I should immediately identify what comparison I'm doing. If it is sales, if it is marketing, if it is a customer analysis or customer requirement analysis, so which kind of comparison I'm doing, by seeing immediately I should understand. So that is the primary goal for chart. Fine. So at this point, you should understand how to filter the chart only for the record data to be compared. Okay, fine. Next, you can see the combo chart. So what is this combo chart here? So here, another set of data I have, year, revenue and expenses for various year. When you are practicing, you can extend the series. You can add some more years, some more columns. Okay. Now insert chart. Here, if you see the combination it's giving right now, clustered chart. You could see this. Now, in every year, how much is the revenue, how much is the expenses. When in the 2022, more or less equal revenue and expenses. In 23, expenses is less, revenue is higher. So like this, you can analyze. Instead of this, in the chart type, I have the option called combo, last option. So you can see revenue in the column, expenses are line. So same, you can see on the revenue, how much is your expenses percentage? It is 25%. Here it is around 80% of expenses we spend to achieve this revenue. Here only 10% of expenses, more revenue. Here half and half. Here also 15 to 20% of expenses and more profit. So this is also better way to analyze. This is called combo chart. Suppose I want to switch the rows and columns. Here also is adding. So I'll just do undo, Control Z. Let's come back to this. So any changes I want with my data, I want to add or remove, then I can do it here. Adding one new series, editing the series, you can remove one column. So this is x-axis, horizontal is x-axis. The other one is y-axis. So in x-axis, years are appearing. So bottom, years are showing. Y-axis, revenue and expenses. If I switch this, you will get like that. So that is not proper way. So you can switch and you can come back to normal. So here I don't want in the, I'll switch here. I'll cancel it. Let us come back to original. So in case if the chart is not representing the right way, or you wanted to change it, then you can change the selection. Okay. Let us see one more example for switch the row and column. Let us take here cricket. So runs, overs. Okay. Now, if I want to analyze this, what I can use, what type of chart I could use. Insert chart. So it's showing line chart. So gradually it's increased. So you select and see how it is plotted. So overs are in x-axis, runs are in y-axis. It has taken up to 300, and here it has taken the range 5, 10, 25, up to 30 it has taken. So same thing, what I said, if I say here, double click on this, I can choose. You can see here, vertical or horizontal. Okay, vertical value. I don't want to, okay, vertical alignment, but I want about the data. So now I'm getting access options. You can see here, this automatically based on the values what we have given, this numerical representation of x-axis, y-axis will take automatically. In case if you wanted to change, you can change over here. So I'll show once again. Double click on this area. In this, you select fill option text, and the last one is axis option. You can select the axis options, and you can see here what is the minimum of this starts from 0, maximum is 300. Your run rates are up to 240. So it has taken up to 300. Let us say I don't want up to 300, let me finish with 250. So this is possible. I can reset the range how it is appearing. Plus units also. When I'm measuring, this unit is, it has taken on the order of x-axis is 5, 10, 20, 25. So it has taken everything with minimum 0, starting from 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. So this axis, so you should select here instead of uh, vertical axis, instead of horizontal axis value, you should select. Now horizontal is, it's starting from, every time the measure is 5 and going up to 30. For example, I wanted to change this to 25. So maximum I have 25. Let me take up to 30 overs. Okay, no problem. And what is the changes? Every time it is increasing 5, 10, every 5, 5 it's increasing. Suppose I wanted to show the major change by, as just example purpose, I'm changing to 7. So it will be changing to 7 order, 0, 7, 14, 21, 28. In this order, it will be changing. So you can see the growth of the run rate, how it's going, how you are reaching. So this you can understand. So based on the chart type, you can, based on the data comparison, you can select the chart type. Even I can represent through a bubble chart. So this is bubble chart. So based on the run values, it will be the size will be representing. You can see. Okay. Fine. So this is called bubble chart. So it's your choice. Change chart type. Initially, it was showing a line. So even in the cricket scoreboard, you might have seen they'll be representing like this, the various chart. So the best example that in the cricket stock marketing there, and wherever the performance analysis, it's easily they'll show you. Right now, what type of data I have, with that I'm showing. So exactly in every over, how much runs we are getting, that I could see here. Okay. So just we have discussed how to use pie chart, column chart, bar chart, combo chart, and now line chart. Okay. So uh, try to practice this. We'll take 5 minutes break. Then we will continue the remaining. Okay. Let us continue. So we have seen up to now column, line, pie, bar, XY chart, bubble chart, and combo. Okay. So now we'll see area chart. So area chart is for representing the sales in different area, population in the area, or customer list in that area. So Is it audible? Hello. Oh, fine. Okay. So now you can see, we'll fill the data, which is production or how much they yield they'll get from different area. Okay. So now I wanted to represent through the chart, which is it's showing cluster column or stacked bar. So now you see clustered. So it's normal column chart for every area. I can see which city is having highest value. Mangalore is having highest value. Then average is 30,000. So nearing 30,000, none of them. So only the highest is there, least is there. Hassan is least value in all other. So the same thing, I change the chart type. In this also you have again 3D stacked. So you can use this also for representing the chart. So this is in 3D model, and you can change to area. So you can see now. So whichever is less lower value, then it will automatically the color won't appear. So I could see orange color, Udupi and Mangalore. Mangalore is having highest, the gray. Hassan and Bangalore are not in the level. So it's not highlighting so easily. So you can see the area for Mangalore is highest. That graph is going upper. Udupi also okay. In all the three production, it is okay. Even Dharwad also. So other area, Hassan and Bangalore is not visible as it is. So which means this in this area, these production levels are too low. So to understand that, I can use area chart. So if you go to chart type, however you want, you can change it. So I can use stock chart, will not be useful for this. I can use any of this sunburst. So you can see the contribution of that. How much? So we usually will see how much people are using Facebook, how much people are using WhatsApp, how much people are using Instagram. So that percentage of that each pie or each area will represent. So like that, you can see comparatively flowers production is less, trees are more, shrubs are more. So this you can, if I use different chart type, then I could change it. So this is sunburst. Histogram chart, for that I should take different area. Even this box and yeah, this is another type of chart. So everything, if you take a suggestion and try, you will come to know easily. Line chart I'm using. So how the grow of every city, you can see that. So again, I want to compare only, not for all, only Bangalore and Mangalore. So I'll apply. So comparison between only two cities, Bangalore and Mangalore. So like this, I can show the growth. Okay, so this is about line chart, or only this I can change the chart type to using design. In design tab, I can change the chart type to area chart. So in this again, the area, you can select the style, and color also you can change. So the color combinations you can select. You can use fill option. Yeah. So secondary axis, how you want. So all this you can compare and you can show. Okay. So any doubts for creating your chart, adding the title, x-axis title, y-axis title? Let's say, how do I add x-axis title and y-axis title? In plus symbol, you could see at the top plus axis title. You can see here in the axis title, here x-axis title I'm giving as items, y-axis title I'll give production level. So whatever heading you want, you can use. So what should be the title for y-axis? So this I could format. Normally we'll format no text formatting. This you can use for formatting it. Even the background color can also be filled as usual. Same way for chart title. Production in area. So however you want, you represent. So other titles you can remove. If whichever it's you don't want, you can remove off. Okay. So again, in the filtering, instead of all selecting only the specific, I can use for all. Okay. So try out this basic chart type. So at the beginning we said pie chart, bar, column, line, XY, area, combo. We have discussed it. So even XY chart, bubble chart, you can work. So anybody have doubts, you can ask me. So in this advanced chart, or part of if one more thing, if both x-axis and y-axis are numbers, in that case, either you use line chart or you can use XY chart. So this is XY chart. It just mark the points. Okay. And this you can even convert to bubble chart. But for bubble chart, you should say one more thing, that is what is a base value. So your expected range, for example, you are expecting the target is 300 runs. Then that if you mention, this ball size will be changing as per the target. Okay, it could be smaller. Now it's everything, it's just showing the ball, but the ball size can also be like, means the bubble what is having, this size will also be changing. So that you can do. So scale bubble size to 100%. Negative balls, it's not there. Without the ball, how much you want. So all this you try. So slowly you have to try all the options one by one. Okay, so that's it about chart. Fine. So what are the chart types are there? Which chart is best for comparison and analysis? For sales, for all other thing, line chart, column chart and stacked bar chart will be useful. And area wise sales or customer or the contribution, that you can use using area chart. When both x-axis and y-axis are numerical value, you can use bubble chart or scatter chart. Okay, so based on data you can decide the chart type. Fine. So next to the chart you have one more option. So rest of the thing, like what I said, we have some more chart we have to discuss. That is when we come to later part, that is next level advanced chart. When you come for second half of your syllabus, you will be learning extra thing like waterfall, histogram chart. Then how do you add or remove trend lines for your chart, and how do you use stock chart. Okay, so that will help you more, those who are into the stock market. Okay, any doubts? Anybody is having doubts, you can ask me. Okay, next time move on to in the chart, the similar to chart we have here spark lines. In spark line I have line, column, and I have win or loss. So the spark lines are appear within the cell. This is also for similar to chart, but these are all tiny chart appear within the cell. But normal graph or chart, it add like a image. So I said after creating the chart, what you can do, you can move on to the chart sheet. So separate sheets you can add, and you can only do formatting, and the sheet contains only the chart, so that you can use. Okay, so here in this case, this is not a image kind of thing, but it appears within the cell. So take some data over here. So I'm just presenting the data, product code, then area 1, area 2, area 3. So where I'll give Coke, Mazda. So various products we are given. Area will give the values. Okay, so now place cursor in the next to this data. You could see this. In this area, I wanted to get a graph. So for which range? Only for this data. I'm selecting G5 to I5, only 3 range where I wanted to get chart. So drag and drop for all. So you could see the line. We're able to see this. You can see the line. This line, how it's starting, how it's ending. So that the small graph, whether it is increasing, decreasing, and which is the midpoint. So in the design, you can see which is a low point. So low point will be marked in which area. So area 2 for the Coke, area 2 is midpoint. That means middle, low point. Then for Mazda also area 2 is middle point. For Sprite only area 3 is the low point. For Minute Maid only area 1 is low point. So that low point is with marked with the color. So so the sparkline color also can be altered, and marker color can also be altered. So low point, midpoint, higher point, everything you can identify. So this is when you have less data, you wanted to see immediately the comparison, you can use sparkline. So it's not suitable for more data. It's suitable for uh, very compact and less data. You wanted to analyze immediately, you can use this. So same way column. So data ranges, this is a data range. I can get it. So same thing I can use for other. So if it is less, the bar will be smaller. If it is low point, the bar will be smaller. For example, I change here to 600 or the highest one. So all other value, based on that, the bar will increase or decrease. So from midpoint, I'll change to 500. You could see. So this is called sparkline, or the tiny chart appear within the cell. So make a note of that. So we have sparkline in Excel. That is, it started after 2007 version. So 2000, before that it is not there. MS Excel 2007, 10, 13, in 16, you can use this. So sparkline, so tiny chart appear within the cell. So that is called sparkline. Same way, if there is a positive and negative points. So for example, for same product, if I have how much is profit. So if I find it is loss, then I'll give it in negative number. So for getting the win or loss, I should have some negative values. Then only it will understand. Negative means it is confirmed as loss. So go to win or loss, data range, select. So same thing you can apply for other. So if it is negative points are there, it will be showing the down value. Okay. So means here and here I have loss. So even if you have multiple columns of data, then also you can use this. But if you have very less amount of data, then you wanted to compare, I can use sparkline, which is in next to chart. So after adding, you will get a new tab that is design tab. Using that, I can change it. So line, column, win or loss. I can represent through line, column, win or So it's very simple. You can use it. Okay. Now, this is your next, we are going to discuss about the assignment. So create employee payable. So I'll show you now in front of you. That means uh, till then you practice. It's for today's session. You are supposed to practice, and this is your practical part from basic formulas and functions. So this is create employee payable table with uh, employee ID, name of the employee. Then I want basic pay. Then I have to find HRA, DA, PF, gross pay, net pay, tax amount. So the user, like, you have to enter employee ID, basic pay, name, and using the formula, I want to calculate HRA, DA, PF, gross pay, tax, and net pay. So you are aware of that house rent allowance. So we just give some basic values. If salary up to 20,000, then HRA is equal to 8% on basic pay. Else we give 10% on basic pay. So those who are getting above 20,000, we want to calculate 10%. Next, for DA, dearness allowance. So the same condition I'll apply, but only different percentage I'm going to use. Salary up to 20,000. DA will be dearness allowance. It is given for children's education. So I'll fix it as 10%. Else it could be 12%. So there is no much criteria. So basic criteria only up to 20,000, above 20,000. Then PF is equal to 8% on basic pay. So there is no salary range consideration. For all of them, 8% on their basic amount. Then tax, the least among whatever for that employee applicable, HRA, DA, and PF. Among this, which is the least amount, that I have to calculate as tax. Then gross pay is equal to basic pay plus HRA plus DA. So these are all gross pay. Then net pay is equal to gross pay minus tax plus PF. This we are subtracting. So this is your assignment. I'm asking everyone, you are supposed to do this and send to my mail ID. Okay. It is mandatory. You are supposed to do this as you people learning. And I wanted to know how many of you can do this. So now we try to fill employee ID. So if I wanted to fill with a number like this, so using autofill, select first two, then try to fill at least 110, 20 records. Then name, randomly fill Now I'm just filling. Fine. Then basic pay, then HRA, DA, PF, tax, first gross pay, tax, then net pay. So now basic. Okay. Now HRA, how do I calculate HRA? Is equal to, if the cell address below 20,000, then, or you can say less than or equal to. So if the basic is less than or equal to 20,000, then basic into, the first calculation is we have to find out 8 and 10%. 8 by 100, else C3 into 10 by 100. So you can say 0.08 or 8 by 100. It is your choice. So I'm giving in division model only. So based on, so their salaries, first cell is below 20,000. So it is 8%. So apply for all, the same thing will happen. So in this case, it is about 20,000. So for him, it is 10%. So 10% is 3,500. Similarly, I wanted to find out DA 10 and 12%. Same condition is equal to, if basic pay less than or equal to 20,000, then basic pay into 10 by 100, else basic pay into 12 by 100. So if logical test below 20,000, 10%, above 20,000, 12%. So it's below 20,000. So it is 10% is 1,200. Then for all of them, it is just 8%. So I can give 0.08 instead of 8 by 100. You can write like this also. So 8% is 960. Then gross pay is equal to basic pay plus, is equal to basic plus HRA plus DA. So this three amount I'm adding as gross pay. Next, tax I have to calculate. So here I don't find any percentage. We said least among HRA, DA and PF. So I should find out which is the least amount. If, and so HRA is less than DA, comma, HRA less than PF. So you have to compare HRA is less than DA and HRA is less than PF. Then it has to return HRA. Else, if next condition, if not true, then DA should be less than, sorry, I didn't add and, so DA less than HRA, comma, DA less than PF. Then I'll give DA. Else, I'll just return F3, that is PF. So among this, the least is 960. that you can see. So in every cell, if you find then this least is 2,800 among this, that is what I'm getting. So instead of this much lengthier one, what is the simplest way? No need of using if and all, correct? I expected somebody will tell me, but you are not responded. Why I should write so much? There is simplest way to do that, no? What is that? There is a function called minimum, least among the three. This will only give you know why I should write if and. So it will only give the best way, minimum of. So least means you have to, among the range, the least amount is you wanted to find, you can use min. Similarly, ma max for finding the highest. So very common basic function which you have discussed here, sum, average, maximum, minimum, count. This is very basic function in Excel, and which is also called a statistical function. So I no need to write if function. I thought any one of you will tell. I expected, but you didn't tell. Okay. So minimum among the three cells we got, and net pay is gross pay minus tax. So that is the final payment for the employee. So like this, various allowances, various what you say, allowances and deductions will be there. So with in real time, still they'll be giving lot of conditions. We have just given only above 20,000 and below 20,000, but in real time, still they will give complex conditions. So prepare and form a table. So form like normal table, apply the border. For heading, you apply the text color, bring it center, make it bold, make it thicker. So all you can try. And finally, I want to highlight whose net pay is above 20,000. So if the net pay is about 20,000, I want to highlight. So I'm going to select full, conditional formatting, new rule, use formula to determine. So what I'm going to use, equals. This is $I3 greater than 20,000. Okay, then what format I want? I just want to fill with some color. So it's wrong. It's not. I want only this column. Column I have expected. Sorry, I mentioned 2,000. We supposed to mention what? Dollar, column I, first cell, greater than 20,000. So I mentioned 2,000. So entire row got highlighted. Now apply. You could see which are the rows are highlighted. Only whose payment or net pay is about 20,000. It's not selected for all. Once again, I'll clear formats. I want to highlight the rows whose net pay is about 20,000. So what I'm doing, conditional formatting, new rule. This is I'm showing first time. So you can listen. So use formula to determine what I want to compare. Formula must begin with equal. which column I'm checking? Net pay. Net pay column is I. So I'm giving dollar for that column. So in the I column only I want to check. But rows, every row it has to be changing. So first data is present in third row, greater than 20,000. Then I wanted to highlight for those employees with some fill pattern. With what color I want. So you could see the rows are highlighting with when net pay is more than 20,000. So this you can try. This is extra, like usually calculation. Then in conditional formatting, using our own formula, we can calculate. So I have selected only the data range, not the heading, only data. I went to new rule. I started determine the formula. Then I given the condition. Then I have formatted. You can see what formula I have given. Manage rule. This is the formula. I3 dollar equals dollar I3 greater than 20,000. Then what format? The background is filled with some pattern. And for entire, so if this column is having about 20,000, the entire row I'm shading. I'm not sure, just highlighting only that cell. For that entire row, the record of that employee will be highlighting. So if you wanted to highlight the entire row based on condition, you must use formula, like you must use new rule, use formula to determine. Here you have to write the formula is equal to dollar I3 greater than whatever value, suppose greater than 20,000 for all. I want the specific format. I just fill with gradient. I'll say okay. You could see these are all highlighting with gradient. Okay, so this is your assignment. In this, after calculating, highlight entire row of the employees whose net pay greater than 20,000. So for that, where you should use conditional formatting, new rule, under that formula to determine cells which with cells to format. So conditional formatting option, command, then under that new rule, under that use formula to determine which cells to format. Then write the formula, then set the format, then you try. Okay, so till then you can, so first you have to practice all the types of chart. In the chart, plot area, chart area, how to change legend, how to change the x-axis range, y-axis range, how to switch over the data, how to move from worksheet to chart sheet, and how do you filter the chart area. Then how do you format each the chart elements. Then after that, you can use filtering. You can try other chart type, like what are the types of charts we have seen, you can try. Then you can move on to sparkline. Then you try this assignment. You take it as exercise or assignment, it's your choice. If you do, you will gather the knowledge, so it will help you in future. So you are learning for your purpose, so do it as much as better way. Okay, so any doubts you can ask me. I'm going to give some few questions. You can just fill up and send to me. So the first fill up is dash key is dash function key is used to edit cell value. Second one, any formula or function must begin with dash symbol. How do we represent a range? How do we represent absolute reference? What is the extension name to store workbook in Excel 2016? So you can find answer for this 5 questions. Okay. So that's it from my end. So any doubts you people can ask. Any doubts, Pa? Priyanka, Yukta, Nikita, Fatima, Abhishek. Any of you have doubts in respect to today's topic or the previous class? Whichever topic we discussed. Any doubts? Nikita, Vidya, Vikram, Yukta, any of you? Okay, Fatima. Ranjini, Nitish. Are you people are listening? Sri Vaishnavi, Deepak. Are you listening? So if you people are listening, just answer my question. The question is for Vaishnavi. For the today's topic, okay, when to use line chart? Vaishnavi, Sanjay, Sanjana, Syed, anyone? So when to use line chart? It's a simple one. So if you move for interviews, those who are looking for a job, if it is marketing or sales based, they might ask if this is the data, what chart type you will be using, or this chart can be used in what cases or which circumstances. They may ask either way. I have this kind of data for my organization. If I ask you to give the chart for the clients, what type of chart you would select? So if it is sales, if it is marketing, if it is production, if it is labor oriented, productivity level, performance. So if the what type of data, and for that what type of chart will be best way to represent. So I was asking when to use line chart. So line chart can be used wherever sales comparison or performance. So you can use, it's something, a series, trend series you wanted to analyze, you can use line chart. Okay. So with this note, we'll stop today. We'll continue Saturday. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We'll continue on. I didn't share, or you didn't ask me to share. Fine, pa. We'll complete today.